Done.
Fantastic. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this quick session on the CGFPA launch. So what is CGFPA? It's Certified Global FP&A Professionals. So this will be a quick meeting, 20 to 30 minutes, and we'll take any questions that you might have. A lot of you, when you attended the masterclass, you gave us some feedback that the 16 or 20 hours that we spent together was not enough, right? And there's only so much that we could also teach within this 16 hours. Post that, we have tried to experiment a little bit. The theory part that we used to teach now is we provide the recording beforehand, and so that we can cover more examples in the sessions as well. But that is still not enough, right? And some of the latest trends that I have observed, and Asif has been in the education industry, since last 5-6 years. I have been closely observing the e-learning space over the last 5-6 years, and there are some observations that I can share with you, right? One is that basis my recent discussions with a lot of CFOs, and we conducted a CFO survey as well. Interestingly, 79% of the CFOs are finding it difficult to find the right FP&A talent, which means there's not enough FP&A talent available in the market. And that's point number one. Number two, the second result that came out of the survey was that 85% of the CFOs are willing to invest in FP&A programs for their teams, which means the very fact that there is so much of demand in FP&A, but there are not enough people. So all the companies ask for prior experience, or some people must have the candidate should have worked in FP&A, but there are just not enough people, right? So now the trend that we have seen is that companies are willing to give opportunity, willing to bet on people who do not have prior FP&A experience. But even if they have some FP&A experience, or if they have done something in FP&A, they are at least called for the interview. In most cases, there could also be a test. Like if it's not a manager role, if it's more of an analyst, senior analyst kind of a role, there could also be a test, which could be putting a management commentary together, or doing some analysis, or putting a financial model together. So those things is what we are seeing as a trend. Now, where are we on the certifications across the globe? So I'll give you some perspective. So right now we are in a situation where nobody is asking for a FP&A certification per se. That okay, I need this certification, or like how people ask for CA, CMA, or CFA. People are not asking for FP&A certifications, but we have seen that the trend is slightly changing. More people who have done FMVA, or all these kind of different certification programs, okay, they are being given some preference in the interviews. That is what the latest trend is, what we have been observing. So doing a certification in FP&A at this point in time will give you that early movers advantage. We are seeing the trend that within a year or two, people will start asking for FP&A certifications, and more academies and organizations will come up with FP&A certifications. At that time, one who has done any certification, a detailed certification in FP&A, would get a early movers advantage. Yeah. So that is the context. And in most of the masterclass sessions that we have got, and we have trained more than 300 people, and more than 300 people are in the alumni group, and some of you may have just taken the self-paced course. We got the feedback that there needs to be a more detailed course. How can we get more time with you? How can we get more personalized sessions? So we thought that the best solution for this is to come up with a detailed certification program where you will get more face time with us. All of us discuss more issues, there will be more experiential learning, right? And so that is how we came up with the CGFPA program. So CGFPA is Certified Global FP&A Professional, Certified Global FP&A Professional. So we are launching this, and the launch is likely scheduled for 18th of May. I'll just quickly share with you a brochure, and we'll send this brochure to you, so don't worry about it. I'll just quickly cover some of the points in this brochure, and then we can take questions if you guys have any. So just stay with me for a couple of more minutes. Okay. So CGFPA stands for Certified Global FP&A Professional. So both Asif and I have worked in global multinationals, and the students that we have trained in FP&A masterclass over the last 10 batches have been students from across the globe. So that's why a global FP&A professional certification makes a lot of sense. It comes under our new branding, which is FP&A Professionals Institute, which Asif and I have co-founded. Right? So certified global FP&A professional. So what do we cover in this?
Before that, you want to let a lot of people may not know we are now in this full time. So people who are in the batch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you remember when we used to do this last year, we were in full-time jobs and we were doing this on the weekends through the side. But starting,
Asif, you need to be a little bit louder.
Okay, let me just unmute the background. Yeah. So what I was saying is, for people who have been in the first 5 or 7 batches of FP&A masterclass, at that time we were doing this part-time, meaning on the weekends. But starting 1st of February, me and Dhaval both are now into the FP&A Professional Institute full-time. So that is an update probably some of you may not know. Yeah, go ahead, Dhaval.
Right. So this has allowed us to come up with a detailed program. Certified Global FP&A Professional is the name of the program, CGFPA as we call it. Okay, and just to cover some of the basic stuff, so we, it of course gives you the knowledge of FP&A core concepts, the budgeting, forecasting, everything. So apart from that, we have tried to add a few more modules and few more cases. So the primary advantage of CGFPA will be twofold, right? So one is that for all the modules that we've already covered, you will get more examples, more cases, and you will be more equipped to attend or work any FP&A interview or work through any FP&A interview. That should be one. The second is that there are some more modules that we have introduced, which make this program a little bit more comprehensive. Let me just quickly cover the modules. As if you want to quickly just touch upon the additional modules that we have covered.
Yes. So the certification has now 10 modules. 5 of them are from the FP&A masterclass. So budgeting, forecasting, management reporting, business storytelling and presentations, and business partnering. Those modules we have kept intact, although the certification involves a lot more advanced examples. So the examples that you saw in the masterclass were conceptual in nature, meaning those were made for classroom purposes, for you to understand the concepts and then apply them. However, here you will get a chance to apply more advanced, detailed examples with lot more data. So that is what the additional. So for those who will be joining the certification outside the FP&A Masterclass community, they will first have to undergo the FP&A Launchpad program so that they are in line with people who have already attended our FP&A programs. So those so that was on the 5 modules that are from the FP&A Masterclass. So for people who have already attended the FP&A Masterclass, there is some advantage to you because you've already done maybe 15-20% of the work and you only need to put in the additional maybe 75-80%. Now on the additional modules, there are 5 new modules. So I can talk about them one by one quickly. So the first one is on business strategy. Initially, when we had conceptualized the FP&A masterclass, for those of who are from batch 1, they might remember we had business strategy in our FP&A masterclass also. But later on, we realized that probably it is not meant for beginners. It is slightly more advanced module. And now we have this as a module in the FP&A certification, which is a CGFPA certification. A lot of people came back and asked us on financial analysis. So topics like ratio analysis, capital budgeting, payback, NPV, all those concepts we could not cover in the limited 16 hours. So we have an additional module on financial analysis and financial modeling, which is a separate course that I run, which is, I think some of you have already taken it. That is also part of the certification. And this financial modeling is specifically tailored to FP&A use cases and FP&A examples. What happens usually is when you take any financial modeling course from any other institute without taking names, those are focused more on investment banking roles, valuation roles, and broader finance roles, while this financial modeling curriculum is specifically using FP&A related examples. So those were the 3 additional modules on the first page. So let's see what's there on this one. So introduction to data analytics. Maybe Dhaval, you want to add some insight on that one?
Yeah, sure. So when it comes to data analytics, many of us in most cases we should be good with Excel, right? But having an overview of the other tools like Power BI or SQL, that will give you an added advantage. At least we want to take you to a position from where you can learn more about these programs, more about these tools, right? So Power BI or SQL, we have roped in instructors who will take you to a level where at least you will have a basic understanding of SQL, basic understanding of Power BI, and then from there you can build on top of that knowledge as well. Plus, there'll be tool providers. So we have roped in some partners who can give us an overview of what are the different kind of FP&A tools available in the market, and what are some of the best practices. Because most of the companies we are seeing this trend that going forward, most of the companies will implement some or the other kind of FP&A tool. Even if today's ERPs may not necessarily provide that capability. So we are seeing that most of the companies are going ahead and implementing an independent FP&A tool. In which case, you having an overview about the FP&A tools and the data analytics tools will give you an edge over your other team members, where you could be part of the implementation as well. Yeah.
So those are some new modules. And on the storytelling and the presentations, the version we covered was 90 minutes in the masterclass, which was more of an introductory nature. So we covered all the concepts, 4 concepts, but in the certification, you will see real life practical applications of those 4 concepts with detailed examples. So we have expanded that 90 minutes into a 10-hour curriculum, which shows you step by step how to create those charts, how to prepare the slides. So it's an in-depth 10-hour curriculum on the storytelling and presentations, which was probably 90 minutes in the masterclass.
Cool. So before we get into the questions, so let me cover a few points about this. Okay. One is that what is the time commitment that is required for CGFPA? Okay, so we have kept it light and we have kept it blended. So it is going to be a 4 to 6 months program. Okay, 4 to 6 months program, and you will be required to devote, I would say, 90 to 120 minutes for live sessions, and about 90 to 120 minutes for self-study. And those of you who have done masterclass, all the theory and most of the theory will get covered. So you will probably have an edge that you have already covered 25% of the syllabus in terms of theory and everything. So you will get that added advantage. Somebody who is taking this for the first time, they will have to probably invest more time in doing the case study. So how we want to utilize the time available with us is to discuss as many cases as possible. So theory will be a pre-reading. So you will have to do those pre-readings, do the case study, and then come to the class, MBA style discussion. So you would go through the case study, do the pre-reading, and come to the class. And then we will discuss it. Then we'll debrief it. Okay, there could be group activities. There could be role plays that we'll be implementing. So that is one advantage. The second advantage is that how will the CGFPA certificate be awarded? So there will be an exam. Okay, and the exam cycle will be 4 times a year, tentatively at the end of the quarter, like March, June, September, December. Okay, and once you complete your curriculum, you will be allowed to sit for the CGFPA exam, which will be a multiple choice based questions. Of course, there'll be a capstone project. So the marks that will be awarded to you will be a combination of the capstone project and the examination. Okay, and collectively you have to get 50 marks for the capstone plus the examination, and post clearing the examination, you will be awarded the CGFPA certificate. Okay, so that's other advantage. Okay, anything else that I missed? What is the eligibility criteria for this? Yeah, what is the eligibility criteria for this? The eligibility criteria is that you need to have a graduation in finance, accounting, or business, or any of the uh, qualifications, which is your CA, CMA, CPA, ACCA, whatever these qualifications are there. Those should also be sufficient. We have not get any prior experience criteria for CGFPA. However, if you have a couple of years of experience in finance and accounting, that will be an added advantage for you to grasp the concepts in a much better and simpler manner. Yeah. What else? Curriculum we have already covered. 6-month pathway. Yes. So you will be submitting an application. We'll review your documents. Then you will complete the application process. Then attend the live modules, undergo examination, submit the capstone, then evaluation of examination and capstone, and then finally CGFPA award will be given to you. Right? And we have some guest faculty as well, who will be covering various topics, not just technology, but some of them have served as CFOs in the past, so there will be some great insights that will be coming your way. Of course, needless to say, the recording and all will be provided if you miss any sessions. So those things will be covered. So we'll be sharing the brochure with you. Don't worry. Now, coming to the fee investment part for this program. So the fee that we have planned for this CGFPA certification program, which includes all the examination, the one-to-one career coaching session with either Asif or me, placement support, all of those things are included in this, and that comes at $1,497. But for alumni, our existing alumni who have taken the course, whatever you had paid for FP&A masterclass or Launchpad or whatever the course that you have taken, that will be offset against this CGFPA program. So for example, if you had paid $297 for the FP&A masterclass, then that will be offset against the fees for this program as well, right? So that is the advantage that you will be getting. Okay. Again, tentative start date is 18th May. Commitment is for 4 to 6 months. About 4 hours a week, I would say, 2 hours in the training program, and then 2 hours in the training program, and then in 2 hours of self-study. You will be awarded a CGFPA certificate as well, okay, from FP&A Professionals Institute. Yeah. Cool. So this is what we had to cover. Any other points, Asif?
No, I think we've covered everything. And because this is the first batch, I mean, the first cohort, we will definitely take whoever those 20 people are who get into the first batch, we'll definitely take your feedback and make improvements. So this is what we have conceptualized. And just like there are a few questions in the chat box on AI, we will be having some AI module in it. We have not kept it in the brochure right now because it's not yet fully conceptualized on our end. But we do plan to have a AI module as an optional. We plan to have like 3 or 4 optional modules which you can choose from, which is not a part of the brochure, but that is in the pipeline. So there will be some AI element to the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So to give you,
Mhm.
yeah, so to give you an overview of what is happening in the market right now. So to go and find a specific FP&A certification program, you can find anywhere. They're priced at anywhere in the range of $3,000 to $5,000. And we believe that some of the top institutions like Harvard, Stanford, all of them will come up with their own FP&A programs, but those will be priced $5,000 plus, and because that is the kind of range that they always operate in. And so that is the advantage that you will get here. And we will be promoting it heavily in all the CFO groups across India and Middle East as well, so that you will get that early movers advantage. And going forward, I'm pretty confident that people will ask for this certification. People will value this certification even more. Cool. Happy to take any questions that you might have. So let me see. Let me go through the chat box and maybe we can cover the ones which are already there first.
Yeah, so I think there was a question on readability. So we'll send you the brochure on email after the call so that you can take a look at it in detail.
Right. Okay, so what would be the value of the certification when applying for new jobs or upgrading myself in my organization from a recognition point of view? See, again, what these certification programs do, right? So first of all, they send a message. They send a message that you are willing to work in FP&A as a field, and you are ready for working as an FP&A. So even when I was applying for my first CFO role, okay, internally I got promoted to the CFO role. But before that, I would say for the almost like 3 years, I had been giving soft messages to my employer that, yeah, I enrolled into this CFO program, I enrolled into this IMA strategic management program. So you see, and that kind of always kept running in the employer's mind that, okay, maybe this guy is ready, so let's give him a chance. And that's how I got my first CFO role, right? So readiness is what this program will give you. And whether, again, to be honest, is there a job guarantee? Is there, are people asking for the certificate program? I'll be very honest with you. Right now, no. But we are seeing that trend changing. We are seeing that trend changing towards people coming and asking for FP&A certification programs. Yeah. So that is where you'll get an early movers advantage. I'm very much interested in mentoring for Power BI. So we do have a separate course on Power BI. So if you're just interested in Power BI, but basics of Power BI will be covered in this module as well, right?
No, I think that question is on somebody who wants to become a trainer. So yes,
Okay,
we
sure,
can
sure.
explore that. Yes, we will
Yeah,
explore.
absolutely, absolutely. See, again, in the very start as well, we had mentioned that if you guys have any specific expertise, feel free to come and conduct a session for the masterclass alumni first, right? So if they like a 60-minute session of what, let's say somebody from you knows Anaplan, right? So come and conduct a session for Anaplan for 60 minutes. And if other people like it, so we can convert it into a bigger program as well. So that's always possible.
Yeah, so I think there's a question on Excel. So the 4 optional modules that we are building, that will be available about around the end of the certification program. So this certification starts in May and it's a 6-month certification. So we have built the 10 modules which are in the brochure, but the 4 optional modules that we will build, we have still not finalized those modules, but most likely those 4 modules will have Excel, will have AI tools, and 2 other things that out of the maybe 8 things that we have decided. So we'll take your feedback on what those optional modules should be.
Yeah.
There will be 4 optional modules, out of which you have to pick one, and maybe that will become mandatory from batch 2 onwards. For the batch 1, we'll keep all 4 as optional. You can do all 4 of them, or you can do one of them, whatever prefers. I mean, whatever is your preference. But from batch 2 onwards, we'll have 4 optional modules, and we'll make one of those as compulsory. So they have to pick one, and out of those 4, most likely Excel and AI module. I mean, tools. I mean, using AI as a part of your day-to-day work, which is be it ChatGPT or using Copilot, all those tools will be covered in that module. So those 2
Yeah.
modules are still in the conceptualization phase, and they will be available for the first batch at the end of the towards the end of that will be probably September. So once you
Yeah.
complete the
And
10 modules, maybe you will see those modules coming up.
yeah, and see, there are so many different topics that all of that, covering all of those will not be possible. Can we make you an expert in Anaplan? No. Can we make you an expert in Power BI? Absolutely no. So this program is not for that. But if you want to be a tool expert, then there are detailed courses available on the tools. Okay. What we are trying to equip you with is enough knowledge to work in a finance function and start rising up the ranks in the finance function. So that is what our advantage would be, I would say. Some general information on the tools. What I can say is that now that Asif and I are into this full time, we will try and bring in more expert speakers, whether they are on tool or whether they are on AI or whether they are on any other conceptual knowledge. Like, for example, somebody the other day asked me, do you include supply chain finance? We can't cover everything in the certification program. But however, we can, of course, bring in a guest speaker who can talk about supply chain finance, 1 hour, 90 minutes, that is always possible. So we'll always connected with other thought leaders in the market, and they can come and cover this. So general things, I would say that you will see more expert sessions, more tool related sessions coming from us, and make sure that you attend them as well. As part of certification program, so we will be covering an overview of all the tools and the data analytics tools that are available out there. Yeah, I think the AI question is answered.
There's a question on what is the recognition of this institute, and there is a tie-up with any
Oh, yes.
authority. So, Dhaval, you want to take that, or should I?
Yeah, sure. Right. So right now, see, there are restrictions for calling something as a degree or a diploma. Okay. So right now, this will be a certification that is coming to you from FP&A Professionals Institute, which is a private body. Okay. That is what it is right now. So I don't want to overcome it, but
Yes.
we will be trying for some recognition in the coming days, which could be either from one of the institutes. It could be CA, CMA, CPA, IMA, any of these institutes or any other university. But as of now, I can't commit on that.
Yes, and if you notice, most of them, I mean, most of the FP&A certifications are from private bodies, right? So FMBA is from CFI, which is a private body. There's a Financial Modeling Institute, FMI, which is a private body. So those are not authorized, or I mean, they're not uh, recognized by any university or any college or something like that. So there are private bodies who have been doing this, and it's more on the quality of the content and the results those bring in. On the recognition, they get recognized over time. So we are hoping that we will reach the CFI level in the next 3 years. That's what we are aiming for. And those who get in early will get the advantage of that.
Okay. Any other thoughts, questions? You can just raise your hand if you have any thoughts, questions on this.
Yeah, I don't see any questions. If not, probably I think we are not on time, and we'd like to wrap up in the next maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
minutes.
if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us or me. We are always available. All I can say is that what we have tried to do is pack in more of our experience into this program. Okay, you will not find it typically academic. You have seen our programs, right? So you know how we go about teaching stuff practically, and you will see the same flavor coming in this detailed program as well. Just because the program is for 6 months or 1 year, you will not see it to be theoretical like other programs. You will always see experiential learning is what we can guarantee you. Okay. And think about it this way, right? So most of you will probably have good 20-25 years of working life ahead of you. Yeah. And investing in this program will help you definitely climb up the ladder in the finance careers. Okay, in your finance careers. Will this be the only certification that will help you that? I'm not claiming that. Okay. Will there be no more qualifications that you may need to do in the end, after 3-4 years? Who knows? 3-4 years down the line, some other new stuff might come in the market, and all of us will have to upgrade ourselves to that. Okay. But what I know with my interactions with over more than 50 CFOs at this point in time is that FP&A is a hot topic, and there's a requirement of talent in FP&A. Okay, and through our experience, you can maximize this learning and you can maximize the benefit from this program. So that is what I can guarantee, Asif, and I can personally guarantee about the learning. We'll now be sharing a form with you. You can go through the form later as well. So, and submit in your applications and your interest form. So some of you, I think, had submitted your interest form earlier, but go through the brochure, come up with your questions. Feel free to reach out to us, and then submit your application forms for CGFPA, and then we'll evaluate and we can discuss as well. Okay. By the way, I also forgot to mention that there is a payment plan available as well. So you don't need to pay the entire fee upfront. Okay. You will be paying the initial seat reservation fee, and after that, you'll get 4 months to pay the balance amount as well. So there's a payment plan available as well, which is not at a higher cost than what the original fee is. Cool. So I just wanted to mention about that as well. Yeah.
I have dropped the link to the interest form. So those who want to learn more, or those who are still not decided, maybe they can just fill the interest form, and we'll reach out to you separately and ask. I mean, you can ask us more questions later on as well.
Yeah. And feel free to probably, book a 10-15 minute call with us, and we would be happy to answer any questions that you might have, or see where you are in your careers and whether this is the right program for you. So we are happy to counsel on that. No pressure from our end that you need to enroll into this program. But if you feel this is right, if you have any questions about how this is going to add value to your careers, we are happy to answer those questions.
Yeah, and a lot of companies also sponsor certifications. So do check out the policies. In most cases, from what I know, once you do a certification which is exam governed and you have to pass an exam, once you pass an exam, most companies who have a training budget, they do reimburse. So do check out for that as well. Might be that you might not have to pay for this from your pocket. Your employer might be covering for this, or at least a part of it, from what I've seen in most big organizations. And if that's the case, then you should not think about it. You should just join the program for sure. Anything else? Anything else?
One question from myself, Kailash.
Yeah, go ahead, Kailash.
Yes, Kailash.
As if I'm completely new in FP&A profession. Very recently, I joined the company by taking that role. So, I just want to know how best this course can help me, because it's completely right now. It's kind of an ABCD for me in FP&A, rather a formula sentence.
Yeah. So this program is designed for somebody who has not worked in FP&A at all. So there'll be enough basics that will be covered across. Only thing is that all those who have done the masterclass already, they might have a slight edge. But this is designed for beginners as well. Somebody who has not worked in FP&A.
So this Dhaval, everyone here has done the masterclass. So those people are only helpful. Kailash, you've done the masterclass,
Some of them might have just done the long.
So you're not at the basic. You're already few steps into it. So probably I won't say ABC, but maybe whatever the next letters are, GH, you're at a slightly better position than beginner.
Think about it this way: that will all of you really get experience in FP&A, and the full experience in FP&A? You will have to probably work for 10-15 years to get that entire range that probably what Asif and I have got. But here in this program, we are trying to compress this journey in the 6 months, right? So your readiness will significantly go up after completing these programs. That is what we can assure you at this point in time.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Kamlesh?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I don't think there's a question. There was just a background noise. So if there are no more questions, we'll wrap up and we'll let you go back, enjoy your rest of the weekend. And hopefully we'll see you in the certification. Maybe not at this time, maybe at some point in the future. Yeah, give it another 30 seconds and then close the call.
This all are great. Let us check.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for taking up your time, and let's connect later as well. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.